Sports Weekend here in Chestnut Hill, Massachusetts, home of the Boston College Eagles. Tailgating, festive affair. Everyone's getting fired up, getting set to cheer on their Eagles. It's been the road team, though, that's had success in this budding ACC rivalry. It's Wake Forest at Boston College next. Pivotal game in the ACC here today at Boston College. The Eagles know that. That's why they're fired up. Wake Forest, meanwhile, knows that last year we had a track meet, if you will, between these two teams. A high-scoring affair. Could see another one today. Big game for both squads. Hi, everybody. Chris Cotter alongside Mark Herzlich. This is an important game because when you look at the schedule coming up for both these teams, a win here could really catapult them into something special this year. Yeah, they're kicking off their long stretch of ACC play, and Wake Forest obviously 4-0 coming to this game. Boston College had a hiccup versus Kansas, and both teams are going to play Louisville next. Wake Forest coming off a bye next week. But this month of October is so important for teams in college football to get their conference wins early in the month so that they can just cruise on to November. You mentioned that hiccup for Boston College against Kansas. They did beat Virginia Tech to open the year, so they could be 2-0 in conference play with a win today. One of the interesting things about these two teams, very effective offensively, but they go about it in very different ways, don't they? Yeah, completely different ways. Boston College is the #1 rush offense in the ACC, and they do it behind their big back, #2 right there, A.J. Dillon. He is big, he is strong, he is fast. He can break the ball inside, outside. He's started to catch the ball a little bit more this year, and it all really starts with A.J. Dillon. The play-action passing comes off him, and then when he comes out, David Bailey, another huge back, comes in for Boston College, and Wake Forest is completely different. Yes, they're good at running the ball, but they're #1 in passing offense in the ACC, and they're tops in all of NCAA, and that starts with Jamie Newman, their quarterback. Jamie Newman came in at the end of last year, played 4 games, threw for 1,000 yards last year, and already in first 4 games this year, another 1,000 yards. So they are loving Jamie Newman, loving what he's doing. He's going to be big for Wake Forest this year in this game. There's a look at the junior from Graham, North Carolina, with more on his play. Let's send it down to Kelsey Riggs on the field.
Well, guys, when he took over November 8th of last year, the Wake Forest team since then, 7-1. Only 5 teams have a better record during that time than the Demon Deacons do, and he wasn't satisfied with those 3 games last year that they won. He wanted to do more. We're told he was in the film room all offseason trying to get better, and it's definitely paying off. You can tell from the stats that he's put up. He is the top-ranked quarterback right now in the ACC. We will see how he does against Boston College.
Yeah, and Kelsey, you tell you top rank. He's #1 in the ACC. Total yards per game, passing yards per game, passing efficiency, points responsible for. He is doing a little bit of everything, and that fits in perfectly for this Wake Forest offense and Dave Clawson's team.
I mentioned we had fireworks last year. Boston College won 41-34. Dillon did go off. He had 185 yards and a touchdown last year, although Brown was really the story with 5 touchdown passes. Wake came back to make a game of it late, but kind of the way these two teams have been going offensively, I kind of expect to see the same type of a game today.
Yeah, it's going to be high scoring, and I really think whichever defense plays the best and can adjust the best mid-game is going to win this one. Boston College showed versus Kansas that they weren't able to do much in terms of changing defensively. They need to do a better job today.
Wake Forest won the toss. They defer to the second half, so we'll get a look at Nick Skiba here. One of the top kickers in the country, toe meets leather, and we're underway at Boston College. Travis Levy just lets it sail over his head. BC will take over at their own 25. You mentioned how well they are running the football. Well, the big reason why is we're going to give some love to the offensive line.
Gosh, there are some old, nasty players up on that offensive line. You look at them, and they're different. I talked to opposing coaches, and they're like, this is a unique offense. Well, it's what we're used to seeing back 20 years ago. They're going to fire off the ball, trying to be a bunch of road graders and knock the defense back. These O-linemen can do it well.
And as often, we'll see double tight end formation, which we do for Boston College to start the game. Here's Dillon. Can't even get back to the line of scrimmage. He'll be dropped for a loss. Boogie Basham, we'll call his name often today. He's in on the tackle.
As we talked to the Wake Forest coaches, their defensive coordinator, Lai Hemphill, said they got to get some pressure and presence in Boston College backfield. They did it on the first play.
Again to Dillon. He bounces it outside this time. Stiff arm, can't get away from the initial tackler, and he'll be dropped for a gain of just maybe a yard. So good pursuit by that Wake Forest defense.
And that's a big play by Wake Forest. Those are the ones that we're used to seeing A.J. Dillon throw that stiff arm out, get that defender in the ground, and then take off and run for another 40. Good tackle on that one.
Boston College. 3rd and long for Boston College in their first possession.
Anthony Brown sees something on defense, changing the call a little bit.
Out of the gut. Ty hits a receiver over the middle. It'll be a first down for BC.
That's Benny Glines. He's a little bit of their Swiss Army knife. He does some of everything. Their captain, and he's their senior graduate student, fifth-year senior.
Trying to move quickly. Dillon. Just having a hard time finding room at first. Just pick up another yard. He's got 3 carries for a total of 2 yards.
We haven't seen much of Anthony Brown so far this game. He had that one nice pass over the middle, but he really needs to work on his completion percentage. He needs to get that up. More consistent plays on first and second down.
Fake to Brown now. Fake to Dillon, rather. Brown rolling out into traffic, and it's intercepted. Amari Henderson picks it off, and he'll be brought down at his own 42.
And Amari Henderson with the interception, and he didn't get it. Nasir Greer was right in behind. Anthony Brown needs to be better on first and second down. And this is a pass that he seemed to force it as he's going. He sees 2 white jerseys around there. That's 2. Don't force that in or just throw that out of bounds and live to play the next down. And now Boston College with 1 turnover on the board. They're used to getting interceptions, not giving them away.
First interception rather of the year for Anthony Brown. So Wake Forest, an opportunity to see Jamie Newman first off. The handoff to Carney. And he gets into the second level, give him 8 yards on the play before Joe Sparacchio is there to bring him down.
Cade Carney is the noted leader of this backfield, turning from an injury and big run on first down.
Design run for Newman. Close to the chains. We'll have to take a look at where they spot it. Maybe just a few inches short of reaching the yard to gain. Both these teams, as you mentioned at the top, want to go really fast tempo. As soon as the official places that ball down, they're going to want to snap it.
And they're subbing right now, which is the only reason why it's slowing down at all, but you're exactly right. Wake Forest is number 1 in the country in terms of number of plays run, and Boston College is number 6. So they both are going to get a lot of plays in today.
3rd and short for Wake Forest in their first offensive possession of the game. Carney looks for some room, doesn't have much, but may have just enough to move the chains, and I believe he will. First down for Wake Forest. And we've talked about Cade Carney. We've seen him a bunch on this drive, but really their receivers on this Wake Forest team, those are the guys who are superstars.
Yeah, Jamie Newman is having success because he has these 2 gigantic wide receivers on the outside, and Sage Surratt and Scotty Washington. They are both men amongst boys. You see them on the outside, and they provide a second-level option for Jamie Newman. Once he pulls the ball out of the running back's belly, he finds those 2 targets downfield.
And there you see that big mesh point that seems like it lasts forever, but Carney gets the carry, saw something that he liked, and he picked up 6 yards.
Yeah, and that was not a missed snap or a missed cue or anything. It looks like the running back and quarterback just stopped, but they're just waiting for Boston College to commit, and then Cade Carney finds the hole, gets upfield.
Carney lost the football there for a moment, but was able to get it back. Good gain on first down. Now Newman tucks it. He'll pick up another first down and has room. Slides down at his own at the 33-yard line. Boston College 33 after an 8-yard pickup and another first down.
But I like that on Boston College's side. They said, okay, we're sending pressure. We're going to force your hand, make Jamie Newman make the right decision. He pulled it and ran for a good gain and first down there. It's going to be really interesting watching that communication between him and the running back and reading these linebackers and safeties. It's just a really cool offense to watch.
Carney now out of the backfield, split at the top of your screen. Newman, quick fake. Now he looks downfield. Has Washington inside the 20, down to the 17.
Big catch. He has a wide radius to catch the ball, so really anywhere Jamie Newman puts it, Washington can come down with it. And they did a little pump fake on a go and ran an in route. You don't usually see that. A great play call.
Carney with the handoff. Maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage. That'll be it. Carney, the senior from Advanced North Carolina, missed a couple of games with a hip injury. Came back last week, had only 7 carries, but we felt it was good to get him just back into the actions so he can be closer to full strength, which he is today. Now split at the top of your screen again, empty backfield. Newman to his left again, hits Washington, who makes a great catch behind his back and is inside the 10. Doesn't quite get the first down, but good catch. Look at this grab.
And he's wide open. Really poor eyes by the linebacker, Joseph Sparacio. Just missed a guy and let him wide open in the middle.
Newman keeps it, shakes off one tackler, powers his way for 3. He'll finally blow the whistle here, and he's going to be close to a first down. Looks like he got it.
Look how many people it takes to tackle Jamie Newman. That's the quarterback. That's not a running back. That's not big number 2 on Boston College's. That's the quarterback. And he plays with effort and heart, and you see that time and time again, taking multiple guys to get him down.
For all the success Wake Forest's offense has had this year, not playing in the red zone. First opportunity today. Carney just looks for an opening. Bangs into that line, picks up maybe 2 yards.
Good read by John Lamott on that one. First, this Wake Forest offense, if you see your gap is open, you need to shoot it, you need to take it. He did it on that play. Stopped Cade for minimal gain.
And Newman checks the call on the sideline. The 11th play of this drive for the Deacs, first of the game for them.
A read look on offense.
Give to Carney, dances his way into the end zone for the score.
Touchdown, Wake Forest.
Well, Warren Ruggiero saw exactly what I saw up here in the box. He saw some linebackers walked out, and one linebacker in the box for Boston College. He called that audible from the sideline and brought in another tight end to add as a blocker. And that elongated mesh point, again, allowed Cade Carney and Jamie Newman to read the defense and find out where the open man would be.
Skiba with the point after try. It is good, and Wake Forest opens up the scoring here in Chestnut Hill. An 11-play, 57-yard drive capped off by the captain, Cade Carney, finding Pater. Beautiful campus here in Chestnut Hill. Boston College trailing Wake Forest 7-0 after the Deacs took their first offensive drive of the game right down the field. Cade Carney, 1,000-yard rusher last year. Off to a good start this year, even though he was banged up a little for a couple of games. He and that man right there, Jamie Newman, were the principals in that drive. That lasted 11 plays and ended up as a score for Wake Forest.
Don't you love that Cade Carney is now on kickoff?
He's that kind of guy, isn't he?
It's awesome.
I mean, he wears the C on his jersey for a reason, setting an example for all of his teammates.
He's going to do a little bit of everything.
Skiba puts the ball in play, and Travis Levy with an opportunity now for a return from his own end zone, and he gets smacked down at the 18-yard line, falls forward. BC out here to Kobe White, who loses his footing. So even when it looks like Boston College has something going, misfortune strikes the Eagles, and White lost his footing after a 3-yard loss.
Steve Adazio has been a fan of what his offense has done so far this year.
Screen to Flowers, bounces off one tackler, can't avoid the pursuit though, and it'll be another loss. Say Flowers, they need to get the football in his hands, and he's a big play waiting to happen, but not on that play.
Yeah, they do, and it's interesting because they have talked about their struggles on first and second down through the air. They start out with 2 passes on this drive and don't even give a chance for their offensive line to make plays because they're putting them out in space against defenders.
And now it's 3rd and 16. Time to change is exactly where the Eagles find themselves. Tight end on the receiving end of that play. That's Hunter Long, probably the most skilled tight end of this very, very skillful group. 4 tight ends will play, 2 on the field on almost every play, but they come up short, so they'll have to punt.
See, that's the frustrating thing. That's a great pass, and that was the first time that entire drive where you gave Anthony Brown the opportunity to throw the ball downfield to a playmaker, and it's a great gain. 14-yard gain. It just, when it's 2nd and 15 or 3rd and 15, it's not enough.
Grant Carlson comes into punt for Boston College. Good punt into a steady breeze. The collision at the 29-yard line. Flags come out. Sage Surratt was down there to receive the punt. And Mediala Track buried him at the 28. That's going to go be a call against Boston College. Another mistake.
Kick catch, interference, kicking team, number 25. 15-yard penalty, first down. Timeout.
And on this, you need to give them the ability to catch the ball all the way down to the ground. That's a bang-bang play. It looked like Track was there, right after the catch, but might have been too soon encroaching into space.
Deacs here already up 7-0, second offensive possession of the night. Getting a slow handoff to Carney, and Newman got belted on that play. Carney picks up maybe a yard.
Yeah, this is exactly what Boston College wants to do. They're going to bring a cross dog blitz, 2 linebackers on 1 blocker, and that just clogs up the gap inside. They're saying, okay, we're going to tackle both the quarterback and the running back. If you do that, we're coming right at you.
Now Warren Ruggiero, the offensive coordinator, empties the backfield. Design run for Newman. Uses patience, waits for an opening, can't find anything. Gang tackled. Joey Lichetti was the first one there, and then his mates followed suit.
Yeah, great play by Joe Lichetti. He's a 6'6", 260-pound redshirt freshman. He came in BC as a tight end. He worked on his hands and his size, and he got good pressure right there to take down Newman for the loss.
3rd and 10 for Wake Forest. Pressure coming. Newman gets rid of it, finds Washington. Beautiful catch inside the 20-yard line. Tate Haynes on the coverage. Washington, just a one-on-one coverage on the outside.
No, it's
mismatch.
such a good play. But that's the problem. If you're going to bring pressure on the inside and force the throw or force the read, you got to match up one-on-one on the outside, and Scotty Washington might expose you.
So 1st and 10 for Wake at about the 10-yard line. Mike Palmer's there to make the stop here. Give Carney about 2 on the carry, so he's getting tough yards inside.
He is, and Kelsey, you're exactly right. Having Cade Carney back adds that power run game. So he's the bruiser. He's the guy that when you have a safety down near the line of scrimmage, you can still give him the ball to run that safety over. And they've just been working him so far this quarter.
Senior just went over 2,000 career yards. And looking for a score. Takes the handoff up the middle. Powers his way to about the 3.
His ability to, you see that like little hop step in the hole and burst forward, and he's not a huge guy. He's 5'11", 215, but when he starts moving forward, he's like a little bowling ball in there. And he's the 13th player in Wake Forest history to rush for 2,000 yards. There's a good group of players to be among. Congratulations, Cade.
They'll split him out, bottom of the screen. 3rd and goal for the Deacs. Newman design run, he's not going to go anywhere. Right into the teeth of that Boston College defense. And he may even lose a yard.
And we talked earlier a little bit about the struggles that Wake Forest has faced in efficiency in the red zone. And Boston College is just keyed in. The #1 person they need to look at is number 12, and they stopped it good there. They're taking that chance. Man-to-man on the outside and daring Jamie Newman to beat them through the air.
Nick Skiba, who's a Luke Rosa Award candidate. Made 15 field goals in a row going back to last year.
That's good.
We're going to make it 16. And he does.
He's a really good kicker. It's nice to see a kicker like that in the ACC because we've seen so many miss. Boston College on offense, back next.
Half 10-0 here. Wake Forest on top of Boston College. Just one of a number of really important ACC games as now all these teams start to get cranking with the conference schedule. Skiba going to send it down. Travis Levy. Like this one, a yard deep, fumbles it. Picks it right back up. Now he's in trouble. 10, maybe just gets outside the 10 and be brought down at the 12. So Boston College already having a hard time offensively, now starting deep in their own territory. Speaking of rolling, here's AJ. Out close to midfield, brought down at the 45. Usually just a matter of time before he breaks one. Picked up 33 yards on the carry, so BC out of trouble. Now, here's Zay Flowers. AJ in front as a blocker. Gets to the edge. 40, 35, 30. Has some blockers in front of him down to the 25. Explosive plays, 2 in a row now for the Eagles.
On the first down.
Now it's Bailey's turn. Again, puts his shoulder down and picks up a big gain on first down. 6 yards, which is exactly what they want. Now they want to go quickly. Final seconds of this first quarter to get the play off. Bailey will take the handoff. Again, bounces into the second level, keeping his feet before being driven down to the turf. Picks up maybe a yard. He's saying Bassey out of that corner spot makes the stop, and that's going to bring us to the end of the first quarter. Wake Forest dominated offensively, building a lead, but here comes Boston College. When we come back, we'll see if they can put some points on the board. Start of the second quarter here in New England. Gorgeous early fall day. Wake Forest with a 10-0 lead over Boston College. You ever go sailing in the Charles, you yourself?
No, I have not. I would have loved to.
I could see you, no mast on the sailboat needed. You're just holding on to the sail yourself, standing in the middle of the boat.
Yeah, very Moana-esque. Just out there, just cruising along.
Well, Boston College shut out for the first time this season in that first quarter. They've been a first-half team, but not so much today. Trying to extend this drive, though, on third down. Dillon won't get it done, though. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Tyler Williams in that bunch from Wake Forest, forcing a fourth down.
Yeah, and it's a little surprising how little offense Boston College has been able to generate, because you saw that stat. They are doing so well in the first half. Well, they have 14 minutes and 37 seconds to make up that 212 yards.
Fourth down, and they'll go for it. Brown rolling out. Decides to come the other way. Has Burt wide open. Completes it inside the 10. Down to the 4.
What a great play call on that by Mike Bajakian. Jake Burt just sneaks out the back end as a...
See if his knee is down. Looks like it is. Now that'll be a first down regardless, even if they spot it there at the 9. But they may review this just to see where they're going to put the ball down. Eagles lining up. They don't stop it. Dillon powers his way inside the 5. Still on his feet, getting a push from his lineman. Finally, they'll call him down. Forward momentum stopped after a 3-yard gain. He is earning every inch today.
He sure is. And there's a little extracurricular at the end of that play, putting A.J. Dillon on the ground. I'll tell you what, when you're a defensive lineman, you're going against an offensive line like this, you do not want to piss them off. Some of those extra hits on your running back after the play will get those dudes fired up.
Dillon again after a 3-yard gain. He'll get it again. Up the middle. Just nothing doing. Pile of massive humanity in the middle. And he picks up really nothing.
And this is big. Defense needs to step up, and talk to defensive coordinator for Wake, and he talks, I want my guys to move and shake inside, use their quickness to their advantage. You see them just kind of slipping around offensive linemen to get in the backfield and clog up that running lane.
Bailey down for Dillon. Brown surprised by the snap. Pressure comes. And he tried to find Kobe White, incomplete.
He's saying Bassey on the coverage there got his hand in the pocket of Kobe White, and this ball comes out well under pressure, and you watch that was just a drop. That's one Kobe White has to hold on to, and woo, Anthony Brown got hit. This is going to lead to a field goal attempt by Boston College.
Aaron Boumeri on for a 22-yard attempt, transfer from Temple. Boumeri puts it through, and the Eagles are on the board. So an 84-yard drive ends up in 3. 10-3 Wake Forest on top early. Early second quarter, Wake Forest up 10-3 here at Alumni Stadium. Cotter, Herzlich, and Riggs. Boston College just getting on the board in that last drive. There's a look at Jamie Newman. We'll get another opportunity to see Newman in this really powerful Wake Forest offense. Joe Sparacchio, another starter on defense, playing special teams, will hold it. Now we're underway. Longman, a long kick. That's going to go into the end zone out the back, and Wake Forest will start from their own 25. Bill Smith late, now takes it 40-yard line, close to midfield, dragging tacklers. 20 yards on the carry for Beal Smith.
And watch this hole develop late. Right at the top of your screen, number 16 gets driven across the ball, and that's only allowed to have happened because of how long that mesh point was.
Now Newman looking to throw, pressure coming, and he's going to get dropped. Maximilian Richardson got there. for his second sack of the season.
And they come on the cross dog again. Watch the linebackers come. And as they come, they're creating a one-on-one with the running back, and Max Richardson just runs directly through Christian Beal-Smith to the quarterback. Boston College has run a lot of that double linebacker pressure in order to mess up the reads for Jamie Newman. Boston College is showing pressure with the linebacker. And Lamont walked up.
Newman, his own running back, scrambling, stiff arms, falls forward, picks up good 6 yards on the carry. Joe Sparacchio was there to make the stop, but it'll bring up a long third down now for Wake Forest.
Going fast.
Newman going deep too. That's Surratt. Adjusting the football and just can't make the catch. Jason Maitre was there. We're going to see a lot of Jason Maitre now. He's starting to get some playing time, and he was impressive on that play. And he's been impressive the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, he was. And that was an underthrown ball by Jamie Newman, but it was going to work out in the wide receiver's favor. He's the only one who sees it. That is a rare drop by the sure-handed Sage Surratt, and Jamie can't believe it. That's why they went so fast, because they knew they had a one-on-one on the outside. That's one that they usually connect on. They need to get their big plays going.
First time today, Wake Forest forced the punt. Dom Maggio will punt it away. Into the wind, he gets a really good punt. Driving Levy all the way back to his 6. Bobbles it, but corrals it. He gets leveled at the 15. Luke Masterson was there to bring him down. We got a good one here. 10-3 Boston College. Now back at it. Bailey outside. 25, 30. Stiff arm to the 40.
Great run by Bailey. Watch the guard and tackle pull around. And that block right there by Alex Lindstrom, the center, springs David Bailey free, and he does the rest with his speed. Big body, speed on the outside.
Now catching the ball out of the backfield, give him 11 more.
And first down to first down. They start with the big run.
The first down for Boston College now inside Wake territory. Here's AJ. Just bounces off a tackler, keeps his feet close to another first down.
Yeah, and we talked to Lyle Hemphill, the defensive coordinator for Wake Forest, and he talked about during fall training camp, every 4th day they would practice against 12 personnel to prepare for Boston College.
Take to Dillon. Tight end has it. That's long, close to a first down. Ryan Smenda brings him down, but it's 14 yards. So they get the penalty yardage and that much more back.
Boston College quick to the line of scrimmage.
Brown just keeps it. That surge of that offensive line gives him the first.
Last week, Boston College was down near the goal line. It was 3rd and 1 at the 4. And they ran a QB sneak to get 1 yard. They almost got all the way into the end zone. This offensive line has such good push up front. It's a good way to pick up 3.
Fake to Dillon. In the corner. That's Flowers for the score.
Smiles on that boy's face. Anthony Brown with the dime to Zay Flowers, and that's such great self-scouting by Boston College. Last week they lined up in the exact same formation and just ran the ball. Well, now they came out. Huge play down the field to Zay Flowers.
Bumeri hits the PAT, and Boston College knots things up here in Chestnut Hill.
Boston College down the field. Freshman Zay Flowers with the score. Wake Forest gets it back when we come back.
Anthony Brown with his 7th touchdown pass of the season. Boston College and Wake Forest all knotted at 10 apiece, about the midway point of the second quarter. Wake Forest was up 10-zip. BC now they've scored 10 unanswered. We got ourselves a game here in Chestnut Hill.
Sure do.
Long and low line drive kick. That's going to bounce out of the back of the end zone. Wake at the 25. Newman's going to keep it. Gets the first down and a lot more. Breaks free from that first line. 40, 30. Eagles giving chase, and Newman finally steps out of bounds after a huge gain. That's 50 yards on the carry.
Uh-oh, Jamie Newman found a crease, and he took advantage of that. Boston College was all geared up to stop him for 1 yard. Not only did he get one, he got a 49 extra.
And they move quickly. Carney, he'll take the handoff. Squirts through, give him about 3.
Let's take a look again at that run. Watch him find this gap. And boom, he sees, okay, now it's time to get in a foot race. He's not going to outrun Brennan Sebastian, but he can get to the outside.
Carney to the outside. Good pursuit by Boston College, drops him for no gain.
Lamont inside-out pressure, and Boston College did a good job of setting an edge. John Lamont shows some of his speed. He's a bigger back, 240 pounds at that linebacker position, but he can run.
3rd and 7 for the Deacs. Blitz picked up. Newman on the outside, complete for a first down. Kendall Hinton again.
That's a great pass by Jamie Newman. Throwing all the way to the opposite side of the field, alongside an out route. That's the longest throw he can make. Great accuracy.
1st and goal for Wake Forest. Trying to answer BC's. A long mesh point. Finally, Carney gets it. Just rolls forward, give him 3 yards.
It's really interesting. It almost seems like they run back so fast to the line of scrimmage, and they take their breath once the ball is snapped. Almost catch their breath in that mesh point and then burst forward again.
Splitting Carney out, bottom of your screen. Newman looks for an opening, can't find much, can't find anything. Maximilian Richardson there to make the stop. Another 3rd down for Wake Forest.
And that was coaching. That last play by Boston College's defense, Marcus Valdez saw a blocker coming around to kick him out, and he just sliced underneath it, creating havoc in the backfield. Hard to stop the happen.
Newman looks Surratt's way. Battling for it in the end zone. Surratt with a one-handed catch.
Wow.
Flag on the play as he was battling with Brandon Sebastian. And it looks like Surratt just won that one-on-one matchup. 50-50 ball goes his way.
Pass interference, defense, number 10. That penalty is declined. Result of the play, touchdown.
Wow, he just bullied him on this play. And Brandon Sebastian just trying to hang on for dear life. But when you can just use one hand and make a contested catch, look at that. Sebastian's got a hand in there, almost hitting the ball, and Sage Surratt just, I'll just use only one.
Wards him off with the right and catches it with the left.
He's a basketball player. It looks like he was just boxing him out, catching a low post pass for easy dunk.
Skiba with the point after. Newman continues this magical combination with his receivers. It's been Washington for much of the day. On this play, it was Sage Surratt with his score. Wake back on top. Wake Forest back on top. They're going 3 for 3 on 3rd down in that last drive. Here's Levy from the 7. Gets free. To midfield. Bangs into some tacklers and gets into Wake Forest territory. 50 yards on the return. Now Boston College in fantastic shape to get right back on the board after that big return. Here's Flowers on the jet sweep. Gets by the initial pressure from that defense, but way too many white shirts. They're forcing him out of bounds.
Noticing a little tendency on Boston College's offense. That time and the time before when Zay Flowers got the sweep, A.J. Dillon was offset, not behind the quarterback. See if that continues as this game progresses.
Loss of 2 on 1st down. Flowers in motion again, the fake to Dillon. Pressure coming. Brown runs into his own man. Can't escape. Now he does. Eyes downfield. Connects with Grimes. What a play.
What a play by Anthony Brown. And watch A.J. Dillon as this play goes. He's blocking. He just keeps on. He almost tackles his own quarterback and just puts a hip in there. Really good vision downfield and good work by Benny Glines working back to his quarterback for the reception.
David Bailey spelling A.J. Dillon. Fake to him, Brown, all kinds of time. Inside the 5. Kobe White on the receiving end. Boston College in business, 1st and goal.
They're hurrying up.
Give to Bailey. Powers his way into that line of scrimmage, gets a yard. Tyler Williams has just been clogging that thing up all night long.
Let's take a look at that pass from Anthony Brown to Kobe White. Really cleared out the safety with a tight end coming underneath. You see Carabadrizzi underneath, pulls the safety and just throws it right into that open window.
Game clock was stopped because a helmet came off by the offense, number 77. This qualified for a 10-second runoff. Boston College has elected to use a timeout to avoid the 10-second runoff. 30-second timeout.
Anthony Brown started the day with an interception, his 1st of the year. Since then, as you've just mentioned, he's really settled down.
Yeah, he has settled down. He's found his rhythm. He's rolling out to his left. See, that's a difficult pass to make regardless. Has that interception early and now finds his open end. He's been taking what the defense has given him well later part of this half.
Brown now rolling. Looks like he's going to get a shovel pass for the score. Bailey on the receiving end. It looked like Brown could have run it himself. He decided to get it to Bailey, and Boston College with 6 more.
Little flip out in front of him. And they're running a lot of this roll to boot, meaning they're faking the run to the right, and then they're booting to the right, and it really puts that edge defender in a bind. Am I going to play the run or cover the running back? Exposed that one right there for the touchdown.
Mary with the PAT. We are once again tied at 17 apiece. Boston College with 17 points in that 2nd quarter after Wake jumped out to a 10-0 lead. All very evenly played. Really a fantastic game from that perspective. And we are poised to have a really nice 2nd half here at Alumni Stadium in Chestnut Hill. 17-17 our halftime score. These two battled to a high-scoring close game last year. Looks like we're well on our way to having a similar affair here this time around. Kelsey Riggs is down in the field. Kelsey?
Coach, Wake Forest came up with that big touchdown in the end zone, but your guys marched right back down the field and scored. What can you make of this offensive performance?
Yeah, I mean, I just think we're just going toe-to-toe. These are 2 good teams right now going job in the 2nd quarter, getting their composure back, rallying back, and our offense finding their rhythm. And it's just the way this game's going to be. It's going to go down to the wire.
Coach, thanks so much.
Thanks.
Thank you, Coach. Thank you, Kelsey. 17-17 our halftime score. After the break, we're back with Dallin Cuff and the State Farm halftime reports. We got a good one here in Chestnut Hill. Stick around. I think you'll enjoy it. Getting set for the 2nd half here in Chestnut Hill. All tied up 17 apiece. Boston College using a big 2nd quarter after spotting Wake Forest a 10-0 lead. We're set for well, actually what we've seen here over the last few games between these 2 teams that are having a little bit of a budding rivalry in the ACC. BC certainly haven't been in the league as long as Wake Forest, but they've played each other so tightly here over the past few years. This is one of those that you start to say rivalry is on. 2nd half kickoff goes out of bounds before it can get to the end zone, so a good break for Wake Forest. Tough way to start for Boston College. Kelsey Riggs is down in the field. Kels, what do you got?
Well, guys, I just caught up with Dave Clausen on his way back out, and I asked him about his offense. Jamie Newman just 89 yards in the air in the 1st half. This is an offense that's normally averaging over 300 passing yards each game. He told me it was pretty simple. He says his wide receivers need to catch balls. They need to go out there and make some plays. So a simple diagnosis from him. We'll see if they're able to do this in the 2nd half.
All right, thanks, Kels. Appreciate that. Mark Herzlich here in the booth with me, Chris Cotter. 2nd half underway with Wake Forest. Looking to mount another drive. Here, a little quick option to Kate Carney. Great pursuit by Maximilian Richardson to bring him down. No gain on the play.
Yeah, and Max read that play really well. Just kind of flew out to the flat, inside-out pressure. Great tackle. Boston College is showing pressure. Newman looks to the sideline to see if they're going to change the play at all.
DC backs off. Newman can hit Surratt. Surratt with just one catch in that first half. It was a big one and a nice catch in the end zone here. A one-handed touchdown grab, but he's been quiet.
Yeah, he has been quiet. And Boston College is mixing up their front, their line of scrimmage, to try to get some pressure on Jamie Newman so he can't set his feet and have in-rhythm throws. You saw there, his throw was a little high over the head of his big save Surratt wide receiver.
3rd and 4. Pressure coming up the middle. Newman has time, though. Now bounces outside, keeps his head downfield. He's going to try and run for it, and he picks up the first down and a lot more. Give him 10 yards on the carry.
And watch Boston College's legs. They're dead. Watch John Lamont. He kind of stops on this rush. And then you're trying to see Max Richardson, number 14, get to the ball, and his legs almost just stop on him. Get some fresh legs in there.
Long mesh point before Beal Smith carries it 2 yards. That's not a good sign if their legs are dead right now. We're at the 9:16 point in this 3rd quarter.
No, absolutely not. And that's one of the things that happens when you get so many plays run against you. The defensive side.
Design quarterback run for Newman. Gets outside, close to the first down. I think he's going to be about 2 feet short.
So interesting to see that progression. Quarterback draws usually are quick up the middle, and they spread a defense out by getting them to cover wide receivers. There, they actually pulled the tackle out and around to lead Newman through the hole, which only happens because of how slow he was on that draw.
Mark, you're talking about this Boston College defense, and that's one of the things that Steve Adazio touched on. He said that they had a great week of practice, but that he was worried had they done too much, didn't want them to get tired. And right now you're saying we might see a little bit of that fatigue.
Yeah, that's a good point, Kels. Had a lot to work on after the Kansas game a couple of weeks ago. Got better last week against Rutgers, but you got to walk that line if you're a head coach, right? How hard do you work the players? Even if, as he said, his players love it. They're football junkies, and how much do you give them a little bit of a break so they're fresh when you get into the second half of a game? Yeah,
they are football junkies, and you see their helmets all dinged up. They love to hit, and they're doing it a lot in practice. See how their legs hold up throughout the game.
On the outside, Hinton gets a block. 5 yards on the reception. John Lamont downfield to make the stop. Wake Forest has converted on all 3 of their 3rd downs on this drive to keep the chains moving.
John Lamont is all over the field. He had 10 tackles in the first half. He's just continuing to find his way to the ball.
Will Smith, fake to him, and Newman kept it. Was good to get 2 yards on that play. He's smiling about it.
Again, they got man-to-man coverage. The backers are in and out on the running back. And when they see that running back come up in the middle, they shoot their gap. That's exactly what you need to do from the linebacker position and force Jamie Newman's hand on the read.
14th play of this drive, 3rd and 4. Hinton makes the catch and picks up the first down. So many weapons. Getting Hinton back from that hamstring injury. This is the first time he's played in a couple of games. The fake to Hinton. Looking for Washington. Has him at the 10. Oh, Washington just lost his footing. But a pickup of 9 yards on the catch.
Seems like when Boston College sits back in their zone on defense, Jamie Newman's able to find the hole. But when they bring pressure up the middle and rely man-to-man on the outside, they've been successful.
Give to Beal Smith. DJ Ram is there after 4 yards on the pickup. And Jamie Newman has taken this Wake Forest team 16 plays and 75 yards, almost 6 minutes off the clock, and they aren't done yet. 1st and goal from the 7-yard line. Cade Carney, the big power back in for the Deacons.
Replay here.
Don't see a flag, but it goes to the end zone for Washington. And he tried the one-handed catch. Jason Maitre was there, and no flag came out.
Yeah, looked to me like they were going to have a offsides in the defense, but Jason Maitre is a guy who's really stepped up at that corner position and does a good job of getting his body in between the ball and Scotty Washington.
Newman keeps it. Tries to go inside, can't. It's outside, he gets what he can, which is actually a pretty good run at 2 yards.
Well, this brings up a 3rd down, and Wake Forest, if there's one area that they've struggled with, it's been red zone conversions. And you see time and time again them getting down there and having issues.
Newman, the fake. Tries to go over the middle, now does. Incomplete. Scotty Washington was the intended receiver, but Maitre is there. And this freshman from Orlando is playing really well on one of the top receivers in the conference.
And this is an absolutely huge play by Maitre. He's able to get in the hip pocket of his wide receiver who's coming all the way from the outside in, and that's the lane that opens up as the other receivers have cleared out. That's basically a one-on-one with your wide receiver and a cornerback, and Jason Maitre won that and ended that long, long drive with a field goal attempt for Wake Forest.
Nick Skiba will attempt that field goal, 22 yards, to give the Demon Deacons that lead back once again. Skiba nails it, and Wake retakes the lead, 20-17. A long drive for the Deacs, ends in 3. They're back on top. This season, they're hoping for a little bit of a change as far as the remaining schedule. And if they win today on the road, get their first ACC win, look at the way the schedule shapes up for them. The next 3 at home after a bye week next week.
Yeah, and they get to recover on that bye week, and then you come out and you have 3 at home, and that's big. And you could potentially go in 9-0 to Clemson, and what a game that would be. You know, Wake would be high up in the rankings at 9-0 as well.
It's putting the cart way before the horse on that, but I like the way you're thinking on that.
Isn't that fun to do sometimes?
If you're a Wake Forest fan, you're thinking, man, what could be going into that Clemson game. First things first, though, they're in a battle here in Chestnut Hill against Boston College, as we all expected. Bobbling the ball is Levy at the in the end zone, and he finally takes an EBC will take over on the 25.
Guys, we talked to Dave Clausen a lot about that start and the potential to be 5-0. This was a game that they said they definitely weren't looking past, and they weren't listening to all the hype surrounding this 4-0 start either. He told us that the best thing that his guys can do is just focus on themselves. That's what they've done the first 4 games this season to get them to 4-0, and that's what they were doing heading into the Boston College game as well.
Yeah, and he's excited about where his team is at. When he first got there, they had a really good defense. In the past couple of years, they've had really good offense, and he thinks this is the kind of shortest distance gap between the 2 offense and defense and talent level that they have.
Look at Dillon just finding the hole. Oh, it's brought down. Ankle tackle by Nasir Greer. Otherwise, that might have been a huge play. 5 yards for Dillon, but Greer, the defensive coordinator Lyle Hempel, said he's got to bring the carrier down, the ball carrier down. He did on that play. Dillon again, this time to his left. As a blocker, just sniffs out that first down yard marker, and he finds it.
So he was following his big Alec Lindstrom, and what I love about Alec Lindstrom on that play is he passes up people that are non-threats. He knows his running backs fast enough. He doesn't need to block 45. He doesn't need to block 23. He continues on the outside and blocks the most dangerous threat who has a legitimate shot at tackling A.J. Dillon. Great job by Alec Lindstrom.
Now the play fake. Brown. Nice catch by Kobe White.
Looks like he caught it clean, and see if that back foot got down. Yep, looks like he gets that down. You see the turf, the little pellets pop off the ground. Big catch, Kobe White.
10 yards. Now Brown keeps it. Picks up 3 on first down.
I've seen so many times, it's almost, you know, until the running backs are past the line of scrimmage that they first get contacted. And Boston College backs average 2.3 yards per rush before their first contact. That's a testament to their offensive line getting that extensive push off the ball.
Nice job by Luke Masterson. He and Bailey just met, and it was like a WWF test of strength between those two. And Masterson holding his ground.
Oh man, he held his ground, but there's no knockback there.
3rd and 6. BC wants to move quickly. Brown up to the line of scrimmage.
Wake showing pressure. He's signaling for a hook on the outside.
Brings White in motion. Looking that way, finds this, tried to get it to Bailey, his running back, but just a little out of his reach. Brown's upset with himself.
And Zay Flowers ran that hook right over the ball. Looked like Zay Flowers coming in the screen right there, but he went outside, and just a poor throw. David Bailey outside, which would have resulted in a first down because he had wide open space to the sideline.
And those two talking about it right now on the sideline, but failing to convert on third down means Carlson will come in to give it a boot. Sage Surratt had to return this punt, but it was off the side of his foot. Not a great punt by Carlson at all, and the official coming upfield to mark it continues to come upfield. Wake takes over at their own 28 when we come back. Newman fakes to Walker. Over the middle, it hits the tight end. That's Brandon Chapman. Gang tackled after a gain of 9.
Well, Boston College is just continually playing cover 2, and they're clearing out the middle of that field. And when Wake Forest sees cover 2, they send someone right in the middle gap. That's vacated by Boston College.
Walker to his right. Makes a move short of the first down to gain. Medial track with the tackle after a 4-yard run. A big third down here for Wake Forest if they want to keep this drive going.
Yeah, and look for them to get to the line of scrimmage pretty quickly. 3rd and short.
Pressure comes. They pick it up. Surratt shakes one tackler and a second one, but finally loses his footing right near midfield. That's a first down for Wake Forest.
Great job by Sage Surratt coming back to the football and getting friendly to the quarterback. Boston College has struggled with missed tackles this season. Showed up again there for the catch and run.
Newman keeping it.
Cousins going at each other right there. John Lamont, look at them talking right there. John Lamont, another big tackle. Read it perfectly, came off the edge, and Jamie Newman, John Lamont know each other really well. Their blood.
You can tell by the smiles on both of their faces on a number of times tonight they're having fun playing against each other.
Yeah, they are, and they're both playing really well.
Newman has 88 yards running on the day. Walker patiently waited for his hole to open up. Marcus Valdez closed it down after a 4-yard gain.
So they said that they don't talk a lot of trash on the field.
Look at that.
But look at them there. We're not talking trash, but they save their trash for video games.
I love it. Now third down for Wake Forest. Surratt makes the catch. And this was after Newman was hit right as he released the ball.
Marcus Valdez got in the backfield there. And Marcus Valdez is a guy who came in here. He's a redshirt sophomore. A lot was put on his shoulders to replace defensive end. Went to the NFL. Zach Allen. He's played really well this game, getting pressure in the backfield, taking on blocks really well.
Wake has been outstanding converting third downs in this game. Converted another one, fresh set here. Newman over the top. Picked off. Mike Palmer was shaken up just moments ago, back in the game playing center field, and picks off Jamie Newman.
You'll see him come out in the top of your screen, but Jamie Newman sees a one-on-one. His running back versus a linebacker just doesn't see Mike Palmer over top. He saw a matchup that he wanted. Mike Palmer does a good job of getting in Walker's hip hop, and they've been, since 2017, Boston College has been top 3 in the nation in interceptions that they've gained. See right there, they're tied with Iowa right now with that last pick right there.
Dillon. Stiff arm. Tough to bring down. Justin Sternad with the tackle, but not before Dillon gets 7 yards.
That's the end of the third quarter.
Wouldn't have it any other way. These two battling it out right to the very end. We go to the fourth quarter. Wake Forest up 3 at Boston College. Chris Cotter, Mark Herzlich, Kelsey Riggs back at Alumni Stadium. Buckle up, everybody. We got the fourth quarter underway here, and Jamie Newman's He's been this offense for Wake Forest, as you would expect, but the passing numbers aren't there. He's their leading rusher, and A.J. Dillon has just gone over 100 yards and more. Into the second level to the 34 before Sternad is there to bring him down 16 more yards for A.J.
And right here, watch 45, the inside linebacker gets caught up on the left tackle, Vrabel. A.J. Dillon goes right off his butt for a big play. Now he's wide open in the flat for a big run and catch.
Wide open. Can he get blocks downfield? All the way to the 32. 33 yards on the pitch and catch. Boogie Basham had to track him down from behind. Now Dillon will get a breather, and Bailey comes in. BC wants to continue to go quickly. Flowers on the sweep. Bailey with a big block. Masterson was there to bring down Flowers after only a 3-yard gain. Looked like it could have been a lot more at the start.
Yeah, it was, and that's one thing Boston College was able to do on those jet sweeps. They hand the ball to their speed guy, and I split out wide of their tight ends to get another big blocker on the edge. Pick up extra yards.
Brown rolling. Kobe White with another catch, incomplete. Skipped off the carpet.
See if he hauls that one in. Very close.
He doesn't seem to be arguing it very vociferously.
Yeah, no.
Clearly incomplete.
Got to argue that one. Got to do some acting school there.
3rd and 7. Here's Bailey on the dump off. Eludes one tackler. Dances his way down the sideline. Where will they mark him out? That's going to be a big key here. Short. He's going to be about 3 yards shy.
And this will bring up a 4th down. See where he goes out. But again, we go back to the play calling by Mike Bajakian. Usually he's doing that to set up a 4th down where he's going to go for it. But it looks like they're bringing the kicking team on the field with only a 3-point deficit. Really going to put the ball in the hands of Boumeri, their kicker.
44-yard attempt for Boumeri.
Or on the foot of Boumeri, I should say.
Good call. Yes. This will be his longest of the year. He had a whistle before, and Boumeri smartly decides to give it a go just as a practice.
Prior to the ball being snapped. Delay game. Offense.
Well, that's interesting.
And you see Adazio.
He's looking at Ricky Brown, his
not
special teams coordinator.
That's going to move BC back 5 yards. Now do they still go with Boumeri? If you saw the kick that he boomed it through the uprights after the whistle.
Boumeri told coach before the season, 33 yards and in, meaning the ball at the 33. I'm money.
48 on this attempt. This would be a career long for Boumeri.
Snaps low.
Grosso, the quarterback, has an opportunity downfield, and it's incomplete. An opportunity goes by the wayside for BC. Wake still leads by 3. Back here at Alumni Stadium, Boston College, failed opportunity to tie this game up with a long field goal. That's Aiden Livingston, the freshman, true freshman, long snapper, number 46. Talking to John Tessitore, Joe's kid, giving him a word of encouragement.
Boston College showing pressure at the bottom of your screen.
Newman looking to throw. Pressure coming, the ball's free. Boston College picks it up. That's Joe Spiraccio. This will obviously be replayed, but John Lamont was the man to knock the ball out of Newman's hands, and Spiraccio was there.
The quarterback's arm was going forward when the ball was released, therefore it's an incomplete pass.
Dwayne Hyde, our referee, clears things up for us. Wake Forest continues on this drive, although it'll be 2nd down and long now. And you can see Newman has been pressured all day long. BC's done a very good job coming with the pressure up the middle. Defensive coordinator Bill Sheridan said, I'm going to have to bring 5 in this game, and he's been able to do it with 4 and 5. Empty backfield for Newman. Hinton in stride. inside the 30-yard line, down to the 30, right at the 30-yard line, 26 yards on the catch by him. Yeah, that hammy looks pretty good.
Watch from the side of your screen, you see a wide receiver running free because the linebacker, Sparacio, is supposed to stay inside of number 2. You need to stay inside leverage on your man and carry him all the way to get to another defender. He did not do that on that play. Wound up with a big completion by Wake Forest.
Give to Carney. Patiently bounces it outside. Brought down. Gain of 3 yards. Brandon Sebastian did a nice job of tackling the big back from his cornerback spot.
We talked about Joseph Sparacio. He's playing right now because Isaiah McDuffie, their leader on defense, has been injured for the first part of this season. He's had a really good start to his career. However, a few plays like that, those come with experience. You know when you're going to be attacked a certain way. There he got exposed.
Fake to Carney. One to Surratt. Incomplete. Sebastian on the coverage.
What a great play by Brandon Sebastian. He knows that he is going against a wide receiver who's a little bit taller than him, and he is taught, put your hand right through the pocket that is created by the hands of the wide receiver. He does it, knocks the ball out, forces a big third down for Wake Forest. BC fans are on their feet for this third down.
Trying to find Washington. Touchdown!
And what a grab by Scotty Washington. This is what he does so well. He mosses people. You go back to that old term that Randy Moss created. Well, he is taking that to this level in college football, and watch him go up. Really good defense by Jason Maitre, but Washington's hands are so strong. He's a former basketball player, is used to going for those jump balls, comes down, controls that with his hands all the way to the ground. Great pass by Jamie Newman, and even better catch by Scotty Washington.
Skiba on for the try to increase Wake Forest lead to 10 with under 10 minutes to play here in this contest. You say mossing, you know my history. I prefer Megatroning. That's what Washington did, and it gave his team the 10-point cushion. Demon Deacons looking to stay unbeaten on the year, extending their lead over BC here by 10 now with 9:47 left to go in this contest and a lot of football still to be played. These big-time receivers, you just can't keep them down for an entire game. They're going to step up and make big plays, even when the passing game may not be working as well as it has for the season so far. Skiba going to kick this one out of bounds, and BC now will catch a break with field position. And as we saw in that first half, and really a couple times here in the second too, once he gets past that first wave of defenders, like that, right there, past midfield, leapfrogs the defender, brought down at the 42.
Great block by the center, Alex Lindstrom, on that play to free up the gap on the stunting defensive lineman, and A.J. Dillon sees it, uses his patience, and explodes through that line of scrimmage.
He's got 144 yards now. He gets out of the end zone, though. Boston College needs that to change. Harrison in motion, then hand off to Dillon, stretching it. Now turns upfield. He's just getting chunks now. Sternad with the tackle, but not before Dillon gains 9. He'll catch a break here.
Gosh, it's just so good by BC's offense. And we think, okay, A.J. Dillon has the ball, he's doing it himself, but you're watching the blocking on the outside by Kobe White, wide receiver, and the tight ends, able to get him those extra yards.
Bailey has an opening, keeps his feet flagged, thrown way into the defensive backfield.
Illegal substitution, defense. That penalty is declined. The result of the play, first down.
Coach Clausen extremely unhappy about that call.
He's saying that the ref had his hands extended, meaning that Boston College would have substituted, so then Wake Forest had his chance, but...
First and 10 for Boston College. Gives it Bailey. Spun down by Boogie Basham. But he still gets 3 on the carry.
Boogie Basham does everything he can to get down big David Bailey and ends up launching him forward for a few extra yards.
Clock ticking down to 8 minutes to play. Dillon in the game. Takes the handoff. Smashes into the defense. 3 yards.
That old saying, 3 yards in a cloud of dust. That's what Boston College's offense is doing right now. There's no dust, it's just rubber pellets flying around. But they're grinding it out on the ground, going back to what they do so well. #1 in the ACC in rushing, and they're showing it right now in this big drive in the 4th quarter.
Feeding Dillon. This time Wake Forest is there. Still surges, though, and keeps his feet moving the pile. 3 yards after it looked like nothing was there. So it gives Boston College now an opportunity on 3rd and short.
They're going to go fast again. Look at that quarterback sneak on 4th down.
4th down. I'm sorry, 4th down and a yard. Going with that sneak, and Brown, the pile just pushes.
And why not? If your offensive line is going to get that much push on a quarterback sneak, that should be every single time you have 3rd and 1 or 4th and 1.
Boston College looking to keep this drive going. Another set of downs for A.J. Dillon and company. Dillon cuts it back, runs into his own man. He won't pick up much. Cernat is there after a 1-yard gain.
Boogie Basham did a great job of getting upfield and causing A.J. Dillon to cut up the middle. Looked like it could have even been a holding call on him, but good job in the backfield by Basham, who is 3rd in the ACC in sacks and 4th in tackles for loss.
I mentioned Basham was shaken up on that last play. It was Suleiman Kamara, 90, not 9, so Basham still in the game. Bailey in the game.
For the pass.
And he's got an open receiver. That's his tight end and a touchdown. Chris Garrison broke free, 16 yards for the score. BC right back in it.
And just when you think you've seen it all from Boston College, they have another person throw the ball. We've seen Gobe White throw it this year. We've seen C.J. Lewis throw it this year. This time David Bailey on the sweep threw the ball up, and you don't usually see it to a tight end. A lot of times it's to your star receiver, but the star receivers come out of that tight end room at Boston College.
Bumeri with the try, splits the uprights. Boston College gets back to within 3.
Chris Garrison on the end of the line of scrimmage fakes like he's blocking and then sneaks in past, and really good ball. Really good ball by David Bailey, and it doesn't look.
The form is horrific, but all that matters is that the ball got there. How many times do you see a player who is not a quarterback throw the ball too high? He's got a wide open receiver, and he just loses his mind a little bit and gets too anxious and throws it too high. That one was right on the money.
Getting jacked up here in the booth, Chris. Did that Oreo provide you enough energy?
Yeah, it did. Cobb salad at halftime, like some people did. Out of the back of the end zone, 25-yard line. Carney, patient, rolls for a good 3 yards. Sparacchio brought him down.
We talked a lot about Boston College's running backs getting low and running over their shoulders. Cade Carney does the same thing when he gets the ball in the game. He was stopped at the line of scrimmage and just kind of rolls forward for another gain.
Newman and Wake Forest in no hurry to snap this ball.
Collins showing pressure at the top of the screen. Dropping back.
Carney again. Brought down after a 1-yard pickup, another huge 3rd down.
And John Lamont again is just seeing the gap and just putting his shoulder down and putting licks on the ball carrier.
Do you take a chance if you're Wake Forest here? Do you continue to play conservatively? 3rd and 6 for Newman.
Boston College showing pressure up the middle. Going to be one-on-one on the outside with the wide receivers.
BC backs off the pressure. Newman trying to hit his receiver and does. In the double coverage, Hinton comes down with it, a 9-yard pickup and a 1st down.
Newman created this play by seeing the mismatch. A linebacker on hitting the wide receiver, and just throws the ball out in front, knowing where his wide receiver can get to it. And there's nothing Joe Sparaccio can do but chase that ball down and hope for an underthrown pass.
Fresh set of down for the Demon Deacons in BC territory. Again, Newman looks to the sideline, letting that clock tick. Give to Carney. Just looks for a crease. No gain on the play. Crawford was there to bring him down. Good to see Tanner Crawford back in the game after going out with an injury earlier.
Wake Forest, an empty formation, spread him all the way out. Newman's still a run threat in this formation.
Looking to pass. Surratt gets down. Short of the first down. Brandon Sebastian is there to bring him down, and Boston College uses their second timeout.
Timeout. Boston College, their second timeout of the half. 30-second timeout.
Fans on their feet at Alumni Stadium. Newman over the middle, complete. Frudenthal with the catch and the first down.
Sparaccio again in coverage, just finds himself behind the tight end. He needs to stay inside leverage on that, but really good play call, really good play design, anticipating a blitz and getting the tight end open over the middle.
Big story in this fourth quarter. Boston College unable to get their defense off the field on third down. Wake 3 for 3 on third down on this drive.
Yeah, third down conversions extend drive. They keep the defense on the field. And as good as you play on first and second down, it doesn't matter if you extend the drives and let them get first downs on third.
Now that clock with just one timeout remaining for BC. Carney, the senior, holding on to that football. Lamont is there to make the stop. Pickup of a yard on the play. BC will use their third and final timeout.
Boston College, their third and final timeout of the half. 30-second timeout.
BC has an opportunity to get back in this one, but they got to get this defense off the field. And with just 2 minutes and 11 seconds left, Jamie Newman and company know one more first down, this one's in the bag.
Absolutely, and Boston College does the right thing on first down once again. Now Wake Forest and Jamie Newman are behind the sticks. This is a get back on track down. They want to keep the clock running, but more importantly, they want to create a third and manageable so that they continue this drive and get points on the board. Look like you're in a wildcat formation.
Yeah, Newman has taken off. He's split at the top of the screen, and Carney's just going to keep this football spinning, picking up what he can before Brandon Sebastian brings him down. It'll be a pickup of 2 yards. Clock under 2 minutes.
We saw when we did the Kansas game a few weeks ago, Boston College's defense was out of their gaps. Their assignments weren't right. Today, they have corrected all of those problems. And you see time and time again, the right fits on blocks, being in the right place at the right time. That time, Brandon Sebastian stayed on the outside to make that tackle. And now a huge third down for Jamie Newman.
Newman employing his offensive line to get set. To give to Carney, up the middle, powers his way for 4 yards. Ram is there to make the stop. The clock will continue to run here, and Wake facing a fourth down.
Choose going for it on fourth down.
Wake, and we talked with Coach Clausen earlier in the week about how they're just 2 plays away from being 2-2 on the year, but they, to their credit, made the plays to get them to 4-0. Maggio just says, I'm going to punt it and hope to bury them deep, and they do. What a play by this special teams group that has been so good all year. Christian Beal-Smith down at inside the 5-yard line.
And Dom Maggio is one of the best punters in the league, and when you have someone who can pin,
touched by the kicking team at the 5-yard line. First down.
someone who can pin the other team down inside the 10, that's when you don't go for it on fourth down. Put the ball in the hands of a playmaker, and this playmaker was their punter, Dom Maggio. They legitimately need to get 75 yards in this drive instead of a field goal.
Brown underneath, that's Flowers. Good look to get out of bounds. Hammered, and he does get out of bounds. Nasir Green made him pay for that 8-yard gain.
He absolutely leveled him, and Interestingly enough, I think the clock should still be running, even though he went out of bounds. It looked like his forward progress was stopped by the hit and launched out of bounds backwards.
Wake rushes just 3. Bailey's got to get out of bounds. Picks up the first down, runs over a tackler, gets out in front of the 30-yard line. But that clock, they're going to have to get big chunks. Inside of 10 seconds. Brown tries to find Flowers just over his head. Now 4 seconds left on the clock. You do have a flag on the play. Let's check the call.
Ineligible receiver, downfield, offense, number 9. 5-yard penalty, still 2nd down. Game clock will start on the snap.
Snap, and now Boston College has one play. What are you going to do? You got to lateral, get the ball downfield.
Brown underneath, lines with the lateral to Bailey. He'll throw it across the field as Brown has some blockers in front of him. Tried to get it to Garrison, and it goes out of bounds. And Wake Forest will improve it to 5-0 on the season.
And what a stand by Wake Forest at the end of the game. They were able to...
It's a fumble out of bounds. Game is over.
They drove down the field and got the points when they needed it the most. And Boston College was exposed consistently on 3rd down, and credit to Wake Forest and Jamie Newman, finding the open receivers in place of Boston College's blitz. What a fantastic matchup by 2 really, really good ACC teams.
Kelsey Riggs is standing by down in the field with Coach Clausen.
Coach, an exciting game came down to the very last minute. This program is now 5-0 for the first time since you've been here, 2-0 in the ACC. What does this win mean?
I mean, it was just a great college football game. I mean, give credit to BC. They're physical, and it was just a game of a couple of plays. Unfortunately, we made a few at the end. The play Scotty made on the touchdown was huge. And just proud of our players. We just keep fighting and keep fighting.
You touched on Scotty, and we saw a lot from Sage, but what can you say about your quarterback, Jamie Newman?
Oh, I mean, he's really done a great job all year, and when we need him most, he comes through.
Coach, thanks so much. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Newman was sensational tonight. 243 yards passing, a couple of touchdowns. He was the leading rusher for this team, 102 yards. Sage made a play when he had to. Scotty made a play when he had to as well.
They got those big wide receivers the ball in crunch time. Outstanding win by this Wake Forest team.
Demon Deacons improved to 5-0 on the season. 27-24 our final. Coming up next is the huddle. Back to Dillon, Cuff and the crew in the studio.